Hello everybody! Welcome to a game called Dagon. So if you guys like this, make sure you please hit the subscribe button. Please, hit it! And yeah, it's a horror game and it's like good atmosphere. It's like that type. Brand new game, yes. With the plot, okay.
I am writing this under an appreciable mental strain, since by tonight I shall be no more.
Wait, what? During the game, you would encounter elements. Some of them will be allowed you to continue your journey. Others will reveal interesting facts about the original short story, its historical background, and the author. Some of the trivia is hidden. In order to find these secrets, focus your eyes and look for the Elder Sign. You can also access all the fine facts later. They will be available in the menu. Okay. So, it said look around. So look, see, I can't look over there. So you can only go, like, I guess a certain amount.
Penniless, and at the end of my supply of the drug which alone makes life endurable, I can bear the torture no longer, and shall cast myself from this garret window into the squalid street below.
Oh, so you're killing yourself?
Do not think from my slavery to morphine that I am a weakling or a degenerate.
Okay, now what?
When you have read these hastily scrawled pages, you may guess, though never fully realize, why it is that I must have forgetfulness or death.
I kind of don't know what's happening right now. Okay. No, I'm not reading this to you. You guys can read it yourself. You guys have eyes. Eyeballs. Soldier's disease. Okay. So I'm writing something.
It was in one of the most open and least frequented parts of the broad Pacific that the packet of which I was supercargo fell a victim to the German sea raider.
Okay. Is that all I can do? I'll make sure I don't miss anything. Jesus!
The Great War was then at its very beginning, and the ocean forces of the Hun had not completely sunk to their later degradation. So that our vessel was made a legitimate prize, whilst we of her crew were treated with all the fairness and consideration due us as naval prisoners.
Okay. Interesting, interesting. Am I escaping?
So liberal, indeed, was the discipline of our captors that 5 days after we were taken, I managed to escape alone in a small boat with water and provisions for a good length of time.
5 days, wow. That's quite a bit. Alright, any secrets? No? Okay. So I escaped, so that's good.
When I finally found myself adrift and free, I had but little idea of my surroundings.
Yeah. Which way would you go? And we only got one row. Like, look at that. Only one. Did I hear something? Okay.
Never a competent navigator, I could only guess vaguely by the sun and stars that I was somewhat south of the equator.
Okay. I can't tell if that's the sun or the moon. I think the sun's like down here and the moon, and that's the moon. Think. I don't know.
Of the longitude, I knew nothing, and no island or coastline was in sight.
You know how scary this would be? In the middle of the ocean, no idea where you're at, and one rowboat and barely any food and water. Terrifying. Like, what to my other oar? I'll have one. Alright, is there anything else? Like the stars? No? Okay. I guess we just row.
The weather kept fair, and for uncounted days I drifted aimlessly beneath the scorching sun, waiting either for some passing ship or to be cast on the shores of some habitable land.
So, I'm guessing he's just rowing in one direction, I'm guessing. Very slowly because we only got one oar! Wait, where is it? Oar! Only one! I don't see another one. But he's just drifting though. He ain't actually rowing. Well, he might be. I don't know. Some water.
But neither ship nor land appeared, and I began to despair in my solitude upon the heaving vastness of unbroken blue.
Would you go crazy? Like, would you go, like, insane for being alone this long and no land?
The change happened whilst I slept.
What change is that?
Its details I shall never know, for my slumber, though troubled and dream-infested, was continuous.
Oh! Oh! What in the world? Are these squids? What is that? Like a squid crab thing. And that's like a spider over there.
When at last I awoke, it was to discover myself half sucked into a slimy expanse of hellish black mire, which extended about me in monotonous undulations as far as I could see.
Alright, can you stop looking at me? Like your eyeball. Can you move your eyeball another direction?
And in which my boat lay grounded some distance away. Though one might well imagine that my first sensation would be of wonder at so prodigious and unexpected a transformation of scenery, I was in reality more horrified than astonished. For there was in the air and in the rotting soil a sinister quality which chilled me to the very core.
Oh, there's two oars. There's one in the water and one right there. So I did have two oars. Why didn't I use both of them? Alright, so what's chilling? The already chilling part is these guys.
The region was putrid with the carcasses of decaying fish and of other less describable things which I saw protruding from the nasty mud of the unending plain.
Like a giant... What is that? Like a giant slug that's rolled up or something? Ugh.
Perhaps I should not hope to convey in mere words the unutterable hideousness that can dwell in absolute silence and barren immensity. There was nothing within hearing, and nothing in sight save a vast reach of black slime. Yet the very completeness of the stillness and the homogeneity of the landscape oppressed me with a nauseating fear. The sun was blazing down from a sky which seemed to me almost black in its cloudless cruelty, as though reflecting the inky marsh beneath my feet.
Ugh! That was right next to me? Can we move from this spot, please? We have that thing there and whatever this thing is. Dagon seems to be infested. Shit. I have hated fish and feared the sea and everything connected with it since I was 2 years old, but I cannot recall what earlier experience gave me since Abe. Profound and lasting. The sea and seafood. Man, heck yeah, you would start seeing all this. Heck yeah, you would be afraid of the sea. Ugh. Ugh.
As I crawled into the stranded boat, I realized that
Ooh, my
only
VR
one
set.
theory could
Right there.
explain my position.
What is that? That was not there, was it? Oh my gosh.
Through some unprecedented volcanic upheaval, a portion of the ocean floor must have been thrown to the surface, exposing regions for which innumerable millions of years had lain hidden under unfathomable watery depths. So great was the extent of the new land which had risen beneath me that I could not detect the faintest noise of the surging ocean, straining my ears as I might. Nor were there any seafowl to prey upon the dead things.
And isn't he sleeping? Because he did say he did fall asleep, right? So I think he knows he's in a dream, but I guess it doesn't feel like he's in a dream. I'm guessing? Oh. Look at that. My VR set right there. Alright, fish.
For several hours I sat thinking or brooding in the boat, which lay
Hours?
upon its side and afforded a slight shade as the sun moved across the heavens.
Oh my god, I saw a tentacle. Yeah, there's the sun.
As the day progressed, the ground lost some of its stickiness and seemed likely to dry sufficiently for traveling purposes in a short time.
Okay.
That night I slept but little, and the next day I
Yeah.
made for myself a pack containing food and water, preparatory to an overland journey in search of the vanished sea and possible rescue.
I don't know about the rescue part, but we can try. Find rescue.
On the third morning, I found the soil dry enough to walk upon with ease. The odor of the fish was maddening, but I was too much concerned with graver things to mind so slight an evil, and set out boldly for an unknown goal.
Yeah, what is this? Alright, can I interact with anything? Nope. Okay. Ugh.
All day I
Oh.
forged steadily westward, guided by a faraway hummock which rose higher than any other elevation on the rolling desert.
This? Imagine we have these type of creatures down in the depths of our ocean. Imagine, because some of the ocean parts we can't even go down, it's so deep. Ugh. Okay, well, let's continue. Oh my god. Oh, finally a sea creature that I actually know. A whale. And whatever those things are. Oh, is that an island?
That night, I encamped,
That is
and on the following day
big
still
tentacles.
travelled toward the hummock, though that object seemed scarcely nearer than when I had first espied it.
Uh-oh, don't tell me it moves. There's some big tentacles. Oh, fantastic. Oh, God. It's very interesting. Yeah, finding stuff like way down in the ocean is weird. Some weird fish down there. Oh.
By the fourth evening, I attained the base of the mound, which turned out to be much higher than it had appeared from a distance.
Yeah, it's kind of high.
An intervening valley setting it out in sharp
See that
relief
light
from
over
the
there?
general surface.
Light right there.
Too weary to ascend, I slept in the shadow of the hill.
Oh, great.
I know not why my dreams were so wild that night, but ere the waning and fantastically gibbous moon had risen far above the eastern plain, I was awake in a cold perspiration, determined to sleep no more. Such visions as I had experienced were too much for me to endure again, and in the glow of the moon I saw how unwise I had been to travel by day.
Why?
Without the glare of the parching sun, my journey would have cost me less energy.
Oh.
Indeed, I now felt quite able to perform the ascent which had deterred me at sunset. Picking up my pack, I started for the crest of the eminence.
The crest of the what?
I have said that the unbroken monotony of the rolling plain was a source of vague horror to me.
Mm-hmm.
But I think my horror was greater when I gained the summit of the mound and looked down the other side into an immeasurable pit or canyon,
Oh, great.
whose black recesses the moon had not yet soared high enough to illumine.
Can't even look down.
I felt myself on the edge of the world, peering over the rim into a fathomless chaos of eternal night.
Oh, gosh. Oh, heck no.
Through my terror ran curious reminiscences of Paradise Lost, and of Satan's hideous climb through the unfashioned realms of darkness. As the moon climbed higher in the sky, I began to see that the slopes of the valley were not quite so perpendicular as I had imagined.
Oh my god, we are climbing down? Why? 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 This is a horrible idea. Like, look at this. You don't even see the damn bottom. Oh god.
Ledges and outcroppings of rock afforded fairly easy footholds for a descent,
Okay.
whilst after a drop of only a few hundred feet, the declivity became very gradual.
Oh yeah, only a few hundred feet. Only. Oh yeah. Oh, man, when we go down, it's worse. Ugh.
Urged on by an impulse
What
which
is
I
that?
cannot definitely analyze, I scrambled with difficulty down the rocks and stood on the gentler slope beneath.
I don't think that's our building. I don't think we built that.
Gazing into the Stygian deeps, where no light had yet penetrated. All at once, my attention was captured by a vast and singular object on the opposite slope, which rose steeply about 100 yards ahead of me. An object that gleamed whitely in the newly bestowed rays of the ascending moon.
Moon. Wait, how is the moon reflecting on that? Won't the moon be like over here? I'm not questioning it, it's fine. Okay.
That it was merely a gigantic piece of stone, I soon assured myself. But I was conscious of a distinct impression that its contour and position were not altogether the work of nature. A closer scrutiny filled me with sensations I cannot express. For despite its enormous magnitude, and its position in an abyss which had yawned at the bottom of the sea since the world was young, I perceived beyond a doubt that the strange object was a well-shaped monolith,
Oh, great.
whose massive bulk had known the workmanship and perhaps the worship of living and thinking creatures. Dazed and frightened, yet not without a certain thrill of the scientist's or archaeologist's delight, I examined my surroundings more closely.
Okay.
The
Oh.
moon, now
Oh.
near the zenith, shone weirdly and vividly above the towering steeps that hemmed in the chasm, and revealed the fact that a far-flung body of water flowed at the bottom, winding out of sight in both directions and almost lapping my feet as I stood on the slope. Across the chasm, the wavelets washed the base of the Cyclopean monolith, on whose surface I could now trace both inscriptions and crude sculptures.
Okay.
The writing was in a system of hieroglyphics unknown to me and unlike anything I'd ever seen in books, consisting for the most part of conventionalized aquatic symbols such as fishes, eels, octopi, crustaceans, mollusks, whales, and the like. Several characters obviously represented marine things which are unknown to the modern world, but whose decomposing forms I had observed on the ocean-risen plain. It was the pictorial carving, however, that did most to hold me spellbound.
Yeah, I bet this is for Cthulhu, 100%.
Plainly visible across the intervening water on account of their enormous size were an array of bas-reliefs whose subjects would have excited the envy of a Doré. I think that these things were supposed to depict men, at least a certain sort of men, though the creatures were shown disporting like fishes in the waters of some marine grotto, or paying homage at some monolithic shrine which appeared to be under the waves as well. Of their faces and forms I dare not speak in detail, for the mere remembrance makes me grow faint. Grotesque beyond the imagination of a Poe or a Bulwer. They were damnably human in general outline, despite webbed hands and feet, shockingly wide and flabby lips, glassy, bulging eyes, and other features less pleasant to recall. Curiously enough, they seem to have been chiseled badly out of proportion with their scenic background. For one of the creatures was shown in the act of killing a whale, represented as but little larger than himself. I remarked, as I say, their grotesqueness and strange size,
That thing is huge, whatever that is.
but in a moment decided that they were merely the imaginary gods of some primitive fishing or seafaring tribe. Some tribe whose last descendant had perished eras before the first ancestor of the Piltdown or Neanderthal man was born.
Okay.
Awestruck at this unexpected glimpse into a past beyond the conception of the most daring anthropologist, I stood musing whilst the moon cast queer reflections on the silent channel before me. Then, suddenly, I saw it.
So what? So what? So what? Oh.
With only a slight churning to mark its rise to the surface, the thing slid into view above the dark waters. Things and loathsome, it darted like a stupendous monster of nightmares to the monolith, about which it flung its gigantic scaly arms, while it bowed its hideous head and gave vent to certain measured sounds.
Just don't turn around, please.
I think I went mad then. Of my frantic ascent of the sloping cliff and of my delirious journey back to the stranded boat, I remember little.
Okay, yeah, go, go, go. Is he chasing me?
I sang a great deal and laughed oddly when I was unable to sing.
Sing what? No, you don't want to be singing right now. Oh, God.
I have indistinct recollections of a great storm sometime after I reached the boat. At any rate, I know that I heard pearls of thunder and other tones which nature utters only in her wildest moods.
Okay.
When I came out of the shadows, I was in a San Francisco hospital. Brought thither by the captain of the American ship which had picked up my boat in mid-ocean. In my delirium, I had said much, but found that my words had been given scant attention. Of any land upheaval in the Pacific, my rescuers knew nothing. Nor did I deem it necessary to insist upon a thing which I knew they could not believe. Once I sought out a celebrated ethnologist and amused him with peculiar questions regarding the ancient Philistine legend of Dagon, the fish god.
What, the thing I saw? That big green thing? Oh, okay. Oh. I see a therapist, right?
But soon perceiving that he was hopelessly conventional, I did not press my inquiries.
Wow, there's a lot. Okay, you guys can go ahead and read that. Oh, what the world? Okay, let's go to the clock. Oh, okay, over here.
It is at night, especially when the
back
moon is
here.
gibbous and waning, that I see the thing.
Oh, look, I have a dresser blocking the door. Okay.
I tried morphine, but the drug has given only transient surcease and has drawn me into its clutches as a hopeless slave. So now I am to end it all, having written a full account for the information or the contemptuous amusement of my fellow men.
Okay.
Often, I ask myself if it could not all have been a pure phantasm. A mere freak of fever
Oh,
as
God,
I
we're
lay
back.
sun-stricken and raving in the open boat after my escape from the German man of war. This I ask myself, but ever does there come before me a hideously vivid vision in reply. I cannot think of the deep sea without shuddering at the nameless things that may at this very moment be crawling and floundering on its slimy bed,
Oh, something's gonna pop up underneath my boat, isn't there?
worshipping their ancient stone idols
Yep.
and carving their own detestable likenesses on submarine obelisks of water-soaked granite. I dream of a day when they may rise above the billows to drag down into their reeking talons the remnants of puny, war-exhausted mankind. Of a day when the land shall sink and the dark ocean shall ascend amidst universal pandemonium.
Oh. Okay. Look at all them fishes.
The end is near. I
Uh-oh.
hear a noise at the door, as of some immense slippery body lumbering against it.
Don't open it, no! Oh, well, we're opening it.
It shall not find me.
Oop, that didn't work.
God, that hand!
Oh, it's him again.
The window! The window!
I can't look behind me. Ugh. Ooh, oh, he died, didn't he? Yep. So there you guys have it. I hope you like this. Make sure you please hit the subscribe button, and I guess I'll see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.